Let's begin our look at how to remove unwanted elements of our image with Photoshop by working this image of the Oak Alley Plantation in Louisiana. Now, this house was originally built in 1836 and was a sugarcane plantation for many years, handed down to various owners over the years, and was recently completely renovated to its original specifications. It's now a historical tourist attraction with its obvious major feature of this huge canopy of oak branches that were cultivated in this fashion by the original owners. Now, this shot is very impressive, and I didn't really have the time to come back at dawn when the tourists were not there, so we're going to have to use the magic of Photoshop to remove them. Let's go ahead and zoom in at 100%. And we'll navigate to the areas we're going to work, and you can see the obvious things I think that we want to get rid of, which are the tourists. Now, the one thing you'll notice about this image is that there's lots of straight lines, and this actually makes the job somewhat easier. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to use the clone stamp tool for a whole lot of what we do here. And one of the things I want to kind of bring to your attention is how these light rays go across the walkway there, and we're going to have to deal with that issue as we begin our work. Let's go ahead and just begin, and what I'm going to do is come to this area right here, and the way the clone stamp tool works is that you hold down the Alt key, and you'll see the icon change right there on the brush, and this is our sample point. So we click, then we let go, and then we come up, and we line this line up right there on the edge of the sidewalk, and we'll get rid of the girl's foot, and then we can move out and take the grass. Now, the one thing we have to be aware of is that this light comes across, this sunlight, this little ray of sunlight comes across the grass and hits the edge of the sidewalk right there, and that's what we're going to have to replace. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. The only thing I want to do is just get rid of this gal in the shirt, in the purple shirt rather. And I'll worry about lining up those light rays later. I just want to remove this person, at least as much as I can at this point. I'm going to work on the lawn first and get those things done. And you can see where I can go ahead and take a sample from right here. Very carefully. Go ahead and click on that and then come over and work this area right here. And then I'm going to come and take this little area and bring it over. And then later I'll bring this straight down and we'll be able to get rid of this entire element right there. Let's go back to the sidewalk. Now notice again that this is not correct and we'll fix it later. I'm going to go ahead and take a sample from here, and I'm going to really kind of do the easy stuff first. And then we'll do the refinements a little bit later. But we're going to come up, get rid of those legs, and then we're going to take a sample from right here. This is where it's going to begin to get a little tricky. Let's take this and see what it looks like. There's a lot of experimentation in this process, and I don't know how this is going to go. So far, I'm not encouraged. Let's take this area right there and come over to right here. And then I'll come up and grab this area right here. And I think you can see the pattern we're going to be in. It's hunt and pack, hunt and pack. And we'll do the refinements at a later time. But I just want to get the major stuff done. So we're going to come over here. And those lines actually help because they're very easy to capture and then come down and make things. I'm going to zoom in on this just a bit more. There you go. That makes it a lot easier. Let's take that and come down. Now, notice that I don't have the footing. I don't have anything over here to get this footing, so I'm going to come and get this over here. Now let's take it at the corner, and we're going to come in and place that right about there. That looks like it might work. There we go. And again, it's not perfect, and we'll do the refinements a little bit later, but so far so good. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Let's go ahead and come up here and grab this right by the door, a little window, and just come down, straight down with it. See how easy it is when you have these lines? You know, all you got to do is line up these lines. And then we'll come up again and get this little area to the left. Line it up. It's real tricky sometimes. I can actually just drag it down. Just like that. And then let's go ahead and take this area right here and just come down. And we're getting rid of the guy in the red shirt. He's pretty much done. He's toast. And we'll do this conglomeration of people here in just a minute. Let's move over here and see what we can do about these ladies. This is actually going to be very easy. So I'll come over and I'll take a sample from right there. Again, this is the sunlight, and we don't want to bring the sunlight down and put it into the shade. It's just not going to look right. Now, we may end up doing that, but right now we're going to try not to because we want it to be as natural as possible. So let's go ahead and click on that. And we come straight down. And we're just clicking, and we'll get the fence. We'll correct the fence in just a minute. Those are the refinements that we'll do later. I just want to get the big stuff. I want to get the macro parcels of this taken care of. Now, again, where this column sits on this foundation right here, I've got to come over here and get this one, click on it, and then bring it over here and place it right there. And I know the sunlight is on there, like I said, we really didn't want to do, but we really have no choice. It won't look that bad when we look at it much later. Get rid of these legs. And like I said, it's not looking perfect, but we'll fix it in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get this. Bring it over. Line up the grass, and then just come straight up. And see how we correct that? See how good that looks? And it'll look really good at a distance. We're not going to have to worry about it when we get it blown straight out. Now, notice where the chain is off. So we're going to come over and get the chain from right here. Let's pick this chain up right here, and we'll place it right there. And where are we going to get, let's get this right here. Bring it over, and we'll place that. See how that works? We can actually just go ahead and throw it in there. It's not going to hurt anything. And a lot of this painstaking work you won't be able to see when it's completely zoomed out, so I'm not that worried about it. But we're not going to leave it in that deplorable condition. But let's come over and let's get this and bring it over, see if we can refine it. And we'll get the footing of the column right there and put that in. And I know we're doing this twice, but I really have no choice. And then we'll come and we'll get this part right there. And we're kind of building it back. There you go. There you go. That's not bad. Good enough for government work. Now you can see here where it's really kind of messed up, but trust me, you won't be able to see that when it's fully zoomed out, so I'm not even going to bother with it. So that little area was refined, but what I want to do is there's a little bit of shading right there, and let's Let's patch that up. And this is very painstaking work. You can work on this stuff for a long time, just refining it, making it look as good as it possibly can. And that's what we kind of want to do. And I think that's going to make it. All right, now we'll come up here and take this sample area and then come straight down, line up those lines, make sure they're lined up, and then just come straight down. Then we're going to have to resample. And it's a continuous process of resampling. And again, we're messing up the chain and the footing of the column, and we can work on all that in just a minute, but take it a little bit at a time. Let's go back and take the footing on the right side of the foundation from right there, and we'll come in, put that in right there. Let's bring this in right here, this little element, and stick it right there. That's where it belongs. And we can grab this area right here and bring it over and set it in right there. Okay, and again, clean this up later. Now this person right there, we're going to work on that. So you can see, I think, the pattern of just finding an area that's going to be able to replace what it is you want to get rid of with the natural existence of your preferred elements. And I'm having to resample. Let's back that up. That wasn't good. All right, we'll sample this area right here, come down and line it up. Make sure it's lined up. We don't want it to look like hodgepodge when we get it done. We want it to look clean and beautiful. Okay, let's take this area up here and bring it down. Put it right there. That's not going to work. So we'll try it again. Let's back it up. In fact, let's just start again. In fact, I'm going to work on that just a little bit later. I can do it this way. Take this and come down. And I'm doing the easy parts first. I'm doing the big, easy parts first. And I know it doesn't seem like it's easy, but by comparison, it is easy. See how that's cleaned up? And we're just going to continue to work this area right here until it's done. Let's go grab this, bring it over and start right here and come across. And I know the walkway goes all the way, and we'll fix that in a minute. But for the moment, I just want to get rid of these people, and then we can refine everything later. Come and get, let's see, where can we borrow from the footing? How about right here? We can take this part. Because see, it's white. We don't want this one because it's against that green shutter, and we don't have a green shutter right here. So this is the only area where we can take it that's got a gray background or a white background, and we can set that little footing right there. See how that works? See how cool that is? Now we got it. Now we got it. Now let's go ahead and fast forward. I know you don't want to sit through all of this hunt and peck, but you get the idea is that you're sampling in one area and replacing what you don't want with what you do want. And that's what the clone stamp tool does. And in this case, it's just painstaking work to get in these tiny little areas. You've got a lot of people to get rid of. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward until we get this done, and then we'll do the refinements. And there we have it. So it's not perfect. I mean, this door could be refined and made better, but when we zoom out to 100%, who's going to know the difference? The focal point of the image is really these excellent oak branches. And let's go ahead and finish this off. Let's do a little bit of cropping here, and we'll bring this up to take out this bright area. And let's bring this down just ever so slightly. And go ahead and hit that. And I'm going to check and see how straight this is. And we want to take this area right here and pull it over and see if we need to level this any. And I really don't think it needs any leveling. Yeah, just a slight, tiny little bit. And then from here, we'll do all kinds of color refinement if we want to make it warmer, etc., etc. Maybe put a special effect on it, turn it into a black and white or what have you. But that's the basic process to clean up your image using the clone stamp tool in Photoshop.